RPM Trade Vietnam in this bitch. What the fuck is up? What's going on with y'all? 2023. The fuck is that even supposed to mean? I swear, man, I wake up every day roasting the fuck out of reality because so much of it seems to be so much bullshit. Uh, so, what's the word I'm looking for? Not random, but arbitrary. Um, a lot of arbitrary shit being accepting as fact, or the whole story, or the whole truth, and nothing could be further from the truth that it is the year 2023. Look at what we counting from. You know, it's a debatable thing. This religion thing, the birth of Jesus, what all that's supposed to mean. A whole lot of allegorical, numerical riddles. Of course, there's a bunch of gematria involved and is there to be revealed inside of these holy books and the ceremonies, the rituals, the names, and all of that other shit. That's why gematria is dope, because it really does decode all of the things you need to see and all of the things that you already see that you don't realize how all-encompassing something like gematria or even the attempt to control the world, how widespread that is and how dominant that is on the earth. That global dominance is something that from multiple angles, groups of people are always going to be trying to do that. Period. It's not just something you see in a movie or a fucking child's cartoon. It's real fucking talk. It's real shit. Somebody wants to dominate the world and they don't give up on an endeavor like that. They're constantly trying, and they're okay with the long plan, and they're super organized. So all of this shit is working in their favor to be that way. Say that they call this the year 2023, and I don't know what the fuck that means, bruh. The fuck does that mean? When humanity has been here way longer than we all know it. So to not count time from that just seems okay. Time is a tool of organization. I made a student film fucking 20 years ago because I'm getting old. This was 20 years ago in college. That seems weird to say that. I remember being 20. Now I'm talking about 20 years ago when I was in college. What the fuck, right? Young people out there, appreciate time. Appreciate the time, bro, because it will move faster than you're willing to respect it or respond to it, and you will be lost in curiosity for the world. You will be lost in your naive state of mind, in your, okay, I'm going to do this, but I'll do it tomorrow, or I got my whole life to live. All of those things, man, like, you really got to get to a point in your life where you cannot see that exactly in that way, and things become urgent business, and then you have to check in on yourself to see how well you have been putting yourself together while you're here, because I think that is the most important thing we can possibly be doing. It is the only thing we need to be doing, is to be putting ourselves together. And of course that entails a moral disposition in regards to how you do that while you're dealing with other people who are also trying to do the same thing. It's all important. And the topic of this live today is like how all of that journey is being hijacked by this fake fugazi as, oh, it's 2023. Oh, this is the fucking dollar. It has value. No, it doesn't. This is a law society. Law of what, motherfucker? Nature already made the law as a default position to be governing the way the world works, and what rights, responsibilities, freedoms, and consequences, all of that shit, what it means is already set in stone in our human nature and the human experience. We need not create a law society to write the shit down, to enforce anything, or to act like that without this, that people wouldn't know right from wrong. Yes, the fuck we do. We don't need the Bible. We don't need law enforcement or a law society. We don't need none of that shit. We already know what that is. Y'all not teaching us a goddamn thing. Who the fuck are you? Any idea of humanity and all these fucking people that are alive right now, billions, that have lived before us, billions, that will live after us, who the fuck knows? Out of all of that, no one police officer with an ugly ass polyester uniform and a shiny piece of metal can tell me that he is my boss with my life in his hands. Kiss my dick. You ain't my boss, boy. You better be right when you talk to me. You better hope you're in the fucking right, and you better not be no fucking bully, because the law doesn't need to write a consequence in that, or a punishment for the consequence in that, for me to already know what the fuck that is. Because the punishment for running a legit file against the safety, and well-being of a police officer who has done you no harm is the same punishment that should befall upon any man who violates somebody who ain't starting shit. So what you would do to somebody for doing something to a cop is what you should do to anybody, because we're talking about the people, not these uniforms and these glasses of water you want to pour the human spirit into so that it takes the shape of whatever glass you put in front of me, motherfucker. I know who the fuck I am, and I know who the fuck you are. You're a man, and you bleed. And if you fuck with me and you're in the wrong, you might bleed for that. I don't care about none of the other stuff. You just got to be right, period. And I don't know why it needs to be written down, or how I can be seen as being unfair or sounding dangerous by saying that. Because I'm not saying initiating force of violence on anybody. So let's get that out the way. But maintaining the integrity of the human experience is critically dependent upon how well you maintain your freedom and your sanity and your focus on what the fuck is going on. If you want to do yoga and paint self-portraits on the beach and teach your kids multiple foreign languages, this is all the shit that I picture myself doing had I not been called to duty about this freedom shit that everybody wants to fuck with and other people want to ignore passively as if there's nothing to fight for. You can do your yoga. I will cover you from the treetops because somebody's got to fight for the freedom, just like some of y'all don't want to fight. You just want to do your yoga and paint your picture. I get it. I'll join you on the beach after I let this magazine off because somebody's got to stand guard and say, how the fuck are we supposed to find the peace to fucking be who we are in humanity, to ponder your own fucking existence without being molested and raped and driven into fucking slavery, fooled and tricked and bullied into any form of slavery. Freedom light is what we're dealing with here. That's what we got. You're in a state of bondage and slavery right now. In order for me and everybody else to get to the freedom, somebody's got to roll their sleeves up, crack their knuckles, and cock that fucking gun back to clear the way so we can actually get to that. If everybody's praying and dancing and kissing and hugging each other, I love the hugs. If everybody's doing that and nobody's fighting, you will hug yourself into a fucking mass grave. Let's stop playing. Let's not play pretend and act like there's no place for this level of aggression and tenacity in regards to defending all of this shit, all of the peace and tranquility and togetherness that we all know that we want, that we all know it will be better. You could talk to a fucking psychopathic, money-hungry, heartless asshole, and he will tell you that the world would look nicer if everybody was peaceful and loving it and refusing to initiate the force of violence or to extort or bully anybody in any way, shape, or form. Period. Everybody can say that if that's what was happening, the world would be a better place. Period. Even a fucking psycho would tell you that. It's an observation. It doesn't mean that he needs to adhere to it. If he's a crazy psycho, he's not going to adhere to it. That does not mean that he doesn't understand it. Yes, the fuck he does. A serial killer understands it. This is fucking easy shit. So when you say this shit to a governing body that claims to have the wisdom and the power and the understanding to bring forth these things to humanity, some shit that they say that we cannot get without them, how the fuck when I say this shit, they act like, yeah, sure, okay, keep that shit yourself, because if you point at us for any of those fucking things, we will consider you the danger? Bro, man, this shit for everybody. The gun shit for everybody, and bringing your ass to justice is for everybody. I don't give a fuck who you are, motherfucker. Better not be in the wrong, because if you is, I hope you get smoked for that shit. And I don't care who you are, bro. Let's just keep that shit 100, because I'm tired of the playing. I think people lose themselves in the nuances and the details, and then they tap out. Things tend to be complicated, and they are. The monetary system is a complicated thing, especially when you convolute the whole fucking idea with events like whatever happened on December 10th of 2001, before the quote-unquote planes hit these fucking towers that looks like a fucking ritual and a fucking story from a holy book that I won't name, but is a mirror image of the falling of the two temples. Go fucking figure it out. All of this shit is very relevant. They keep these things relevant by repeating these things in celebration, almost paying homage to it, actually doing human sacrifices to these different cultural things that we tend to let go that somebody is actually hanging on to. So you can call that what the fuck you want. I get to tell the whole fucking story. Period. Don't be mad that I'm telling the whole story with all the details. And kiss my dick. Anybody who don't want you to do that, is so it infuriates me to watch people do that. To point the finger, make blame where it doesn't belong. To name call and to tag people with things like a domestic T word and shit like that. And it's just like, The name caller doesn't bother me at all. You can really call me whatever the fuck you want because I've already been calling you shit. And it's done nothing to you. So when you call me shit, just know that it has zero effect on me. As a matter of fact, the more they point fingers and call names, the more and more I know who to fucking shoot at. If the shit goes down, I know who to shoot at. Whoever been calling me this all of this time is who to fucking shoot at in defense, in response to their shit when they kick their shit off because they have to. They have to destroy, they have to knock all this shit down to do that shit. So be on the lookout for people trying to knock the shit down. I used to say, wave the American flag high. I used to say this. Wave the flag high. No, I'm sorry. I used to say, fuck that flag, burn the American flag. I'll stump on that shit. I don't give a fuck about nothing. I used to say this stuff. And even though I still see the flag as a representation of some weird shit, I see it as a representation of, on a grand global scale, this cult of personality, tribalistic, conquistador kind of a thing. When you show that flag to us, we do whatever the salute and the heart over, hand over the heart and all that shit. You show it to other people, other kids and shit in different parts of the world, it'll make them cry. It'll bring back scary memories of when the bombs went off and their parents died and all of their siblings. And there's one kid, for example, this is a random fucking off the top of the head make-believe fucking story. Let's say some random kid's the only surviving member that he can think of in his fucking family because they all died under fucking bombs dropped by Bin Laden, not Bin Laden, fuck, that's a whole nother story, CIA agent ass nigga. Barack Obama. Dropping bombs on black and brown people in these different parts, and you showed them kids this flag and they go, yeah, that's what it reminds me of. And I don't know what my family is. I'm presuming that they all died. Maybe this kid is separated from his only other surviving relative. Maybe it's his brother. He'll find his brother later on as they join different fascist different groups to live in honor and memory and in vengeance of whatever the fuck happened when you create these little quote-unquote terrorist groups. Boy, you know how many terrorist groups Russia can make by fucking with some shit over here? What do you think these American boys gonna do? Half their family dead. Bombs over the fucking skies in this motherfucker. From some foreign country who was in the fucking wrong and only looking after conquest. Please believe that we need not enlist in nobody's army for people to gather and get together to talk about their communities, their objectives, and their fucking pain of their fathers and mothers and siblings and family dying under bombs by a tyrannical foreign government who only wants to hurt us so they can gain control over our resources, our people, our land, and the entire world in a long plan. We will do what they are doing, period, and we know it. The human spirit and the fight and the fire behind a man who accepts death, who sees death all around him, who says, motherfucker, you're going to have to fight me to the grave. You're not going to tiptoe me or skip to my ass into a fucking grave. You're going to take me cold, dead, or clawing, scratching, fighting, and biting. You're not going to get me to peacefully jump into the hole. Put your fucking hands up. You got to fight on your hands if you think it's going to be like that. Everybody's going to do that. You got to expect that. And on a grand scheme, you will get enough people in this country to stand up like that, then we will look like these foreign countries to these foreign invaders. And we stood up and said, in the name of whatever fucking 10-block radius of Cedar Rapids that you want to represent and call yourself something, you can look to a foreign country and say, we way over here with our eyes on you because of what you did to us. And we need not attach ourselves to our military to do this. We are who we are. Our military doesn't need to co-sign or agree with us. Here we come. The fuck? I don't see nothing wrong with that. I expect it. And if it does happen in our country or anybody else's country, hypothetically, for any reason at all, there's a level of acceptance of that to me. And then I do not judge these men. I say, this is what the world has done to you. Whatever happens is going to happen. Salute to you, right or wrong. I don't give a fuck. Stay out of my way. Let's go. That's what you do. That's what you do. You gotta find a level of acceptance. Some people so scared that they don't even fucking fight. They so scared that they stop looking at the information because it's calling them to a responsibility upon gaining this fucking knowledge. Some people so scared of the fucking death that they go hide in their house and then they die alone in their house. Fuck that. The fuck is wrong with y'all? Y'all scared of a lot of shit. Y'all letting the game fool you and play you. You need not be fearful of the game of life. None of it, really. Come out swinging. Give it all you got. And keep your eye on the prize, and that is the freedom, bro. We supposed to be free so that you don't have to get a fucking pep talk from a fucking no-name fucking YouTuber in the middle of Iowa trying to tell you to stand up for your right, cuff your balls in one hand and grip your pistol in the other hand and dare anybody for any reason to ever try to fuck with you when you came out here to hug somebody. Yeah, that's me. And you shouldn't have to hear from me to understand this shit. And you don't got to change your fucking walk of life because of something you heard me say. But what I will tell you is that regardless of what decisions you make in your life when trying to counteract the pressure and the pain and the attacks from the world, from society, from the game that we chose to plug into this matrix of reality, regardless of what you choose, man, death is going to get you. So you need to consider that. And let that be a major part of how you proceed from this day forward. And whatever conclusion that brings you to, so be it. I don't give a fuck what it is. It makes me feel like the warrior spirit inside of me says, love everybody and destroy your enemies, period. And then you let that be what it's going to be. And then you just smile and say, okay, whatever, man, this is the game y'all gave me. Because if we were born into a world where the most aggressive thing that you could possibly find was taekwondo tournaments and nobody fought over resources or nothing like that, how would I be saying grab your gun and find the enemy and shoot it? Why would I say that if there are no guns? Who put the guns here? Who made the guns a big part of the fucking game? And who's using all of the game and all of the guns, the biggest fucking guns, to loom overhead? You got nuclear weapons pointed at you right now. Who did that? I didn't do that. Why y'all scared of me? I didn't do that. And if y'all scared of me and feel like they're voting for a fucking master, that you want to be your master, that you also in turn expects for him and his fucking goons to use excessive force and violence to lull me into submission in this master-servant relationship with your government that you love so much. While you're doing that, just know that you don't have a moral right to do that, and I don't got a moral obligation to listen to none of y'all about nothing. You have to be in the right. If you don't know that, you got a problem. You would know that if me and my friends stood on your porch and took a vote and then went inside your house and did what the fuck we wanted to do because of the vote on the porch, you asshole. Fucking retard. Now let these same motherfuckers walk you down the fucking plank to tell you you don't get to say what the fuck you want. We're not going to share ideas freely because we're worried that if you hear the right ideas or we are not the loudest voice that you hear, that you're not going to listen to us. That's what they believe. That's what the media believes. That's what the government believes. They actually believe that whatever you hear, you're going to follow. That's why they say you can't let you hear this information that Trey's talking about, all these other people talking about, because number one, they want you to believe that we are wrong. And they want you to believe that they need to shut us up. Because us being wrong don't mean that you're not going to adhere or understand or join the forces. They think that if you hear it, that's enough that you may adhere to it, attach yourself to it. And that's all it takes, that even if the information is wrong. That's why they want to be the only one speaking, so they can tell you all the wrong shit with the expectation that you're going to follow, even though it's wrong, because you're not going to know any different. Don't let them play you. They have to admit certain things about their train of thought behind the things that they say, and then they try to do with the gun control and all of that shit. And people can't be trusted with a fucking AR because it's potentially dangerous, and we've seen people run amok with this fucking thing before. What about the big ass bombs that I can't even name? And the people that have them and what they've done in the past, and how trusting them is obvious to be a bad idea. No one goes after disarming governments of the world the way they do disarming people with a fucking AR-15 because of what somebody else did. The ridiculousness behind everything that's going on is so mind-blowing that I gotta tell y'all that even though I come with all the love, the frustration that's in my voice when I'm like cussing a lot, yelling, mad as fuck, all this other shit, that ain't about this. This is me expressing myself, okay? I'm not mad at you. I'm not even mad at the world. There's a level of acceptance to the way the world works that you might always pick up on by the way I talk, because I seem frustrated, angry, like I'm ready to fucking bust shots, and I'm not. There's a level of acceptance here. But what it is that the level of acceptance that I had to bring myself to tolerate a life here, it's a damn shame and it's frustrating, and I shouldn't have to use so much energy to become tolerant of the bullshit world, because y'all letting people do shit that y'all acting like y'all big bag, smart, aware that y'all wouldn't let nobody fool you, and you letting them fool you with the biggest, strongest shit and the loudest fucking pivot points of things that affect the human existence that I thought that y'all would be aware enough, because they're calling your attention to the points. And then they tell you some bullshit that you shouldn't fall for. So how come you're not looking right at the right things that we need to be looking at, and saying that the ones that are fucking talking to you are the fucking assholes, because everything they say in regards to these fucking important topics is obvious bullshit, and fuck them. That's what I'm saying. If you can follow me, I ramble a lot. A lot of my ideas are super big, and they're always connected to the next thing that I say, that I feel like I might be losing y'all because I'm losing myself sometimes, but I know it's all coherent. In my head, I know what I mean. That it's all connected. The financial industry, the prison industrial complex, why you or the way you are in your sex life. It all has to do with the money, the control, the manipulation, the TV, the music, the entertainment, all of this shit. It is a whirlwind of control over the human spirit, so that they can control you and get you to even control yourself when they can't put hands on you themselves. By default, you will control yourself. By default, you will praise the cop if I had to shoot out with the police. By default, you will call me the bad guy that somehow I must have been in the fucking wrong. And sometimes that default position that I'm in the wrong will include the color of my skin, the gun that I used, and where I live, and all that shit. Because y'all some psychos. Because y'all claim to be big and bad, aware, and you nobody's fucking dummy, you nobody's bitch, and then you get bitch slapped through your whole fucking life with all of this control that they point you to, tell you the bullshit, and you right past the shit. Right past it. Like you can't see it, and they go, man, goddamn. How is this working? Maybe it's working because the natural order and the divine order given to us by whatever the fuck they're praising, whatever rituals they're performing, they believe that all of that is telling them, wholeheartedly to them, that they have a right to do what they're doing, because if they didn't, then it wouldn't work. And you let it work. You let it work. And then they go, what other justification do we need? Come on, man. Y'all bugging, B. I love y'all too much to sit by and do this. And when I see that it happens, it makes me frustrated. At y'all for letting them, and at them for even fucking trying it. Totally damaging the human experience for how many people? Countless people. There's billions of people right now that in this moment today, right now, are stuck in a multi-billion body count hypnosis that is enslaving the spirit of the human existence, and that's just today. The amount of pain and wrong that they have caused the human experience is so insurmountable that our God couldn't even fix it. That's why the whole God, Jesus, heaven and hell thing is like, man, hell ain't enough. Hell ain't enough punishment, and heaven ain't enough reward for the human experience. It's got to be better than that. Heaven ain't good enough, is what I'm saying. Hell is not enough of a fucking punishment. Coincidentally, if you want to get to the spiritual shit, I'm gonna do another live stream hopefully tonight, if I don't get so tired that I fall asleep, or that I tap out because it's so late after my kids go to sleep, because they will never let me do this in the house. They're wild. They're gonna want to be on the live stream and talk they shit. They're ridiculous, actually. My kids are wild animals. But I do want to get into the spiritual shit as far as what reality is made of, and what the Akashic records are, and the multiverse theory, consciousness of what it really is and where it came from, the Hermetic 7 principles, and how all of that leads to me saying fuck the government. Because it all points to me looking at the government and be like, where the fuck are you written into the fucking code of reality that you get to do this? Y'all had to accomplish this, and you accomplished it by force of violence, so I get to oppose you, and you're in the wrong, forever in the fucking wrong. I can do anything to y'all that I fucking wanted, that I'm willing to fucking risk my freedom or my life or anything. I could risk all my shit for going after you, because you deserve all of that, actually, and I wouldn't even be in the wrong. I wouldn't even be in the wrong. When you look at all of that spiritual shit I'm talking about, and then look at how humanity and our time here, if it were a 24-hour fucking clock, a 24-hour day period, government showed up at like 11:30 or 11:45 p.m. Almost midnight, you motherfuckers show up. To do what? To do some traumatic shit to the world that we were okay in our progression without you fucking guys. And then you guys recognized something, stood tall on that shit, and then you have wrangled humanity into a fucking chokehold with your bullshit, and I get to say fuck you and whoever's doing that. And using the right words and trying to express this over and over again is kind of tricky, because I don't want to sound like ultra violent or crazy, or that I want these things, but what I do know is what is deserving. What is deserving is an equal and opposite reaction. As hard as they go to dominate the world, if a bunch of organized people, and I'm talking about a bunch of organized people, like so much so that it appears to rival man to man, an equal count of bodies that are armed and ready into the fight. If that number of people in the world stood up against government in all of the countries, that if there is 670 some thousand sworn in active duty police officers in this country, that exactly, at the very minimum, exactly that number of people arm themselves and form a group that says we are anti-police, period. And we do not mean to do any harm to police officers. We're just here to show you how to do their job the right way. We will enforce nothing that has no victim or no depravity to claim. We will do all of the other protective stuff, and we will be armed, and we will look at the police and say, you don't get to fuck with us either, or we will fuck y'all up. We stand down to no one. If that were to happen in police forces all over the world and in military factions all over the world, that we match them man to man to be like, okay, here we are. You're equal and opposite reaction, and we're going to push towards the freedom. So anything that you do that does not involve freedom, we're going to make you stop that shit, I bet you. And any of the shit that you do to the line with what we're doing, all the peaceful, loving, protecting, and administering over people without ripping them off or driving them into slavery, debt slavery of the individual with the birth certificate and all that shit, or entire countries when you bomb their shit and say, hey, y'all want to rebuild, let's put a central bank in the middle of your shit, and now you owe us a debt that you're never going to get away from. Now we own an entire country after we conquered your shit, bombed it to fucking hell with political false, the thing that you wave type shit with the ends in the letter G. When you do that falsely and you create a fake fight of some shit, and then you put the central bank there, we know what that is. And from every angle, they're trying to enslave and dominate you, and I think that we should be doing the exact opposite. And I don't understand what else you expect, Mr. Bad Guy. And for the good people, I don't know what else you expect is ever going to happen, because you're not going to hug them into giving up what it is that they've been fighting for way before you were born. They've been fighting for this shit, and they're gaining it. And what they're trying to accomplish won't be here until our grandkids and great grandkids are standing here to watch it all unfold. It's called the long plan, you jackass. Y'all too short. Y'all vision is too short. You can only see a few feet in front of you. I'm looking down the block with the binoculars, and I see what's coming. I know what's coming, especially when it looks like a fucking rerun. They do the same shit to you over and over again. I'm done rambling. I'm on my fucking lunch break. I gotta go get something to eat and get my ass back to my slave job so I can pay these fucking government taxes. I don't want to give it to you. I don't want to give you my money, bro. I don't want to give it to you. Taxes, what is that? The government gets tax money off of anything that you do. They act like they hate rap music and black people, this and that, black on black crime, all this other shit. They speak against free speech and all this other shit. They're trying to use niggas' lyrics in them against them in trials and all this other shit. Okay, cool, whatever y'all want to do with that bullshit, do it, because you're just gonna do what you want to do anyway. Fuck you guys. But every rapper that sells an album and then makes the fucking money and then pays their taxes have to admit that they just helped the government get rap money. How the government getting rap money? Y'all getting porn money? These porn producers are paying taxes. Yeah, go get that porn, and when you make that money, you generate that money, give us our portion of the porn money. Government is getting money from all these industries, bro, including the fucking weed shit that they do right in front of you after they enslave people about that shit. March Madness. I mean, not March Madness. Reefer Madness. March Madness. Fuck sports, too. All that shit is rigged. Reefer Madness trying to make y'all think certain things at a certain time in the history where it's easy to fucking make a Mexican or a black guy look like something, and then they use that to demonize something because the industry of the hemp thing where the fuck the paper thing up, and they were so heavily invested that they didn't want that to be fucked up. I'm gonna do a video on that shit about why the weed is illegal from multiple angles and why they're changing it right now in front of you, and everybody's happy that they free the weed, but nobody's holding them accountable for being wrong and how and why they were wrong and all this other shit. It's a disappointing thing going on down here on planet Earth. If I were Jesus, I might choose to just leave this motherfucker and not come back until I came back with my dad too, because y'all are crazy, and I don't think no one man can fix this shit. Y'all not gonna listen to me anyway. Fuck y'all who don't understand me or think that I'm crazy or stupid. I'm trying to help you, okay? So, woo bang, get a gun. I love y'all. And if you want a hug, come get one. If you want to fight, come get one. Because I will fuck your life up if you want to fight me over what? I ain't trying to hurt you, bro. I will never hurt you. I see my kids the way I see y'all the way I see my kids, bro. The way I feel about them, somebody feels about you like that. I couldn't hurt you, bro. My spirit and my soul won't let me do that, bro. I couldn't picture you crying and begging for me to stop hurting you, bro. I couldn't imagine your family crying, asking why did Trey do this to this dude? He didn't deserve this. Why is this happening? I can't do that to your human experience, bro. I can't do that to your soul's journey. I want nothing to do with that shit, bro. But I will fuck you up if you don't care about the sweet shit that I just said. Okay, well then the gloves is off for you, though. I can only try so much. You want to cancel, you want to hit the cancel button on the love I got to give, then I'll fuck you up then. You choose what I'm going to do, bro. Hug you or shoot at you. The fuck? Figure it out, bro. I don't know what else you expect from me. I'm trying to give you all of what I can give to you, man. So you can get all of the love and the hug, or you can get all of the magazine, bro. Whichever you want, it's up to you. You tell me. Until then, salute, hug your kids, kiss your mama, tell her you love her because life is hard. And hopefully I can hit y'all with some deep spiritual shit that will call. That I'm gonna try and keep the politics out of it too, because I want to just stick to just the spiritual talk or whatever, so I can talk all sweet and calm and cool, and I don't have to put a gun on my lap and point it at the fucking camera as a way to express myself, because I'm trying real hard not to threaten people, especially by name or by organization. So let me wild out when I can, because you know that I'm trying to hold back, and I know that I got to keep my eye on the prize too. The prize is the freedom and the love and all that fluffy shit you will see in the happiest movie you ever seen in your life. We can make life like that, and we should be trying to aim for that. Fight for it. No matter what you got to do, fight for it. If you ain't gonna fight for it, it's not gonna come to you. It's not just gonna fall into your lap that we get the freedom. It won't do that. Understanding the world is not going to happen to you by accident either. You're not just going to sit there and have the world expose itself to you in full disclosure with no tricks or nuances or asterisks next to certain facts or not. All that shit, you got to fight for that shit, man. You got to fight for your life for that shit, bro. So stop sitting back thinking you know everything, because you fucking don't. So you should probably wonder why some people are so passionate and adamant about certain things. Maybe they know something you don't know. Anybody who thinks that they know something that I don't know, that had I known, I would bring my attention, very focused attention, to something that could affect my spiritual journey and my life and the idea of freedom. If anybody has any of the information that I haven't spoke on, or that you think that I might not know about, 'cause I know a little bit, something about everything, point that out, man, because I'm trying to sharpen the blade of my spiritual fucking journey. And I'm tired of being fooled and feeling clumsy. I want to be precise and detailed and very focused and hitting the mark in regards to walking my soul across this planet in this meat suit to try to see what the fuck is going on down here. I want to know, man, and I want to have fun, and I want it to be I want the knowledge to be refreshing, man. I want the exposure and the revelations to be refreshing, man. Let's go. Let's go. You already here, bruh. You already here. Let me, one more thing before I get off of this, because a friend of mine who's not so smart, I got to tell you, this guy's not smart. But he is cool, and he's a loving guy, and he's kind of an innocent guy, and I like him. I'm not going to name him. I would actually like to do a live stream with him sometime debating religion, because he's kind of religious, and I think overall, and I tell him to his face, I think he means well, but I think that his critical thinking is off the mark enough that I think some things are getting past him that I don't think that he wants to get past him, but it is, though, because of the way he thinks and feels about certain things, especially when he tries to apply a religious thought to critical thinking. It doesn't always line up, and he don't believe that. He thinks that the belief is enough, that the critical thinking is a seasoning on the religious chicken. And I'm telling you, boy, the logic is the chicken. The spirituality, where you coming from, is a seasoning that I can either reject or apply in a different way. Come on, bro. This man is kind of, but he's cool, and I love him because I know where his heart is at. That's why I can disagree with him logically and in a religious aspect, and still believe that this dude is one of the best friends that I've ever had in my life, man. I love this dude, but I don't think he's got a critical thinking bone in his body. Anything that I agree with him on is because it's accidental agreement, because it just so happens to align with the way he thinks in regards to his spirituality and his religion. He's a Jesus lover. Spoiler alert, he's a Jesus lover, so make of that what you will. But he said that some of the smartest shit I ever heard in my fucking life one time, and I looked at him and I go, dude, you know how I feel about the way you be talking. That right there, I'm going to carry it with me and repeat it for the rest of my life, because it's a genius observation. I used to say life is rough and I didn't ask to fucking be here, but I did, though. I was in a race with fucking billions of fucking sperm, and I fought to win. And I won the biggest race of my fucking life. I fought to be here. Yes, I did. All of you wanted to be here. You did ask to be here. It's a biological programming, but you did ask to be here. You fought to be here, bro. You swam the great swim. And you won. You're a fucking winner. You got here as a winner. Don't leave as a crying, begging, enslaved fucking loser to the fact that everything that's enslaving you could have easily been curbed with a big heart, a big brain, and a big gun. I love y'all, man. RPM. Resist that political manipulation. Be on the lookout for today. When I say shit to y'all, I need to let that be the reason why I stand on it. I said I was going to do a live stream later tonight talking about spirituality. I'm doing it. I'm fucking doing it. I gotta stop saying shit to y'all that I go, hey, I'm tired. I gotta stop doing that shit. I try to say it so that it holds me to a promise that I voice out loud into the universe, into you guys' ears from the fucking YouTube channel here, and then I still don't. I gotta stay on my shit, boy. I be tired, bro. But I'm doing this live stream tonight to talk about spirituality, the multiverse theory, and the simulation theory, which I think go hand in hand. You can't talk about one without the other. I think they deserve and need each other to make a complete story of what is really going on in the fabric of reality and consciousness. What I think, and I think that what I'm thinking about is so detailed and comes from so many angles, and it is all encompassing, because I don't think that there's another question you can then ask after that is not already addressed or applied very thoroughly. That takes no faith, like a fucking religious book. It takes no faith, but a logical understanding of taking the steps to define things, to then plug it into something where it has to fit, because there's no other place for it to fit, type shit. And we're going to examine the human consciousness and where it comes from and what we're supposed to be doing. And I'm sticking to it. I'm doing that live stream tonight after the kids go to sleep. Peace and love to y'all. Woo bang, get a gun, boy. It's guns out here. You want to be the only one without one? Pussy ass nigga, better get one. The fuck?